Hello and welcome to this little Spalluccipedia video. Dip into the world of my fictional investigator paranormal Sam Spallucci and looking at characters and themes which you find therein. Today I want to have a chat about one of the side characters who seems to crop up quite a bit now in Sam's books, and that is Detective Chief Inspector Jitendra Patel. We first meet him in the very first story. In Casebook Sam Spallucci, we have the first one, which is the case of the satanic suburban sitcom. And Jitendra blazes in right at the end of the story with his police, Bobby's crew, whatever you want to call them. I haven't had enough coffee to actually remember technical terms today. It's I just got a little sip while I do that, thank you. I might wake up soon. So yeah, he bursts in and sort of saves the day and comes and takes Sam away, and that's how they meet. And then in the last story, we get sort of like the first, I don't know, ethical conflict, as it were, between Sam and Jitendra. And that's over the werewolf Hawkins, the werewolf of Williamson Park. Sam is like, I've got silver bullets, I want to use them, we need to take this guy down, because obviously he's dangerous, he's a werewolf. Whereas Jitendra's like, no, that is not the law, we do things by the book, we need to go and arrest him, and, you know, lock him up, and such and such. And Sam's like, he's a werewolf. Do you really think that's going to work? I'll stick with my gun. And as it happens, you know, Hawkins meets his sticky end. And we're left with this like little conundrum at the end for Jitendra. What does he do? You know, does he say that he's come across this supernatural being in his normal, mundane city? Or does he sort of like turn a blind eye? And he turns the blind eye, because at the end of the day, what else can he do? You know, it's not something which he can readily explain. You know, you can't just report to your superintendent, well, you know, there's this lycanthrope running around the place and we have to take him out. No, it's not going to happen, is it? So that's where we're left at the end of the first book. And Sam and Jitendra's paths crossed more or less continually over the next few books. He crops up in Ghost from the Past because he's investigating Malcolm Wallace. He tries to get Sam on side to do some investigating for him. Shadows are Lancaster. I don't think we have him in there. I'm trying to remember, it's been a while since I read that one. But obviously he does turn up in Dark Justice, because Justice is going around doing the vigilante vampire thing. And we then get this like clash of worlds. Again, Sam's world, Jitendra's world. We find out that Jitendra has been researching. Has been researching into what's been going on, and sort of like the darker side of things. And he's been researching into werewolves and the like, and it turns out later that he's found out about the potency and things like that. But in Dark Justice, he has a confrontation with the Children of Cain, and basically says, no, we're still doing things my way. You know, if you try and kill someone, I will put you in jail, whether you be a supernatural creature or not. The law is the law, and, you know, it's there to protect people. I'm here to protect people. And of course, Nightingale and crew are like, no, you don't understand. You know, there are things which go beyond, you know, human mundane law, and we have to act on that. So the two don't work together. They go off, and we're left with sort of like Jitendra sidelined, effectively, in that story. But then Dark Justice finishes and we end up in Troubled Souls. And this brings sort of Sam and Jitendra working very much now in closer situation when it comes to the Bear Lane Butcher. Don't want to say too much, you haven't read the book because of serious spoilers, but that they work together to take the Butcher down. Although, effectively, again, Sam goes that little bit extra further. We see Sam start to progress further and further away from the mundane world, which Jitendra is, you know, very much part of. So I think what we see on the whole with Jitendra is this sort of like, he represents the normality of Lancaster. He represents the day to day, the mundane, as I tend to call it, and how the mundane tries to struggle with the things in the shadows becoming more and more apparent. And whereas Sam gets dragged into it almost from the word go, it takes a lot longer for Jitendra to be sort of like pulled along. It's not until we reach Bloodline where Jitendra almost like says, okay, I know I'm a policeman. I know I have the law to uphold. These guys are beyond the law. We have to do things differently. And it drags him almost completely now into Sam's world. Unfortunately, there are repercussions for that. But again, can't say, because if you haven't read Bloodline, spoilers. Okay. Now, as for his background, Jitendra is sort of based on a lad I went to school with, who's, surprise, called Jitendra. He was very straight-laced, quite driven in his own methods, and yeah, so his character and his name were ideal for creating this character who I wanted as sort of like the normality as opposed to the supernatural for Sam's world. And yeah, I don't know what happened to Jitendra. We lost touch when we both went away to university. But I'd known him for like a long, long time. We went to infant school, then junior school, then high school. Comprehensive, what are we going to call it back then? And yeah, so no idea where he is now. But a little bit of him lives on in my books. And well, that's rather nice. You know, because when you sort of like base characters, if they've got like a foundation, somebody you know or knew, like I do quite a bit, I do feel it makes them a bit real. And that's one thing you can definitely say about Jitendra. His character definitely feels real because he has those sort of quandaries going on in his head, possibly more so than Sam does. Sam's been more exposed to the supernatural world over the years from like a younger age. So he knows it's there. He knows what he needs to do. Jitendra would be like, you know, man in the street saying, "Oh, okay, what do I do? I don't know what to do. And it's going to take me a long while to get around to it." And in the end, that's what he stands for. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll chat again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.